Hi everyone. This week the material we're going to be going over has to do with population in the United States and with the related issues for policymakers and managers. Um, Here we start off with a picture of the shoreline of Chicago, showing just how developed that area is. Um, we're going to start off by looking at this report that was put together by the Pew Ocean Commission, 2008 report on coastal sprawl. Excellent summary of what's going on, what's been going on around the United States. It's going to take you down here to one of these. You're going to be reading this. They've made use here of what's known as GIS, Geographic Information Systems, which is really a fantastic tool that's now being used to study just such things. Here they've actually been able to plot changes in the San Francisco Bay Area and the New York metropolitan areas using this. And what it essentially shows is how these urban areas have grown through the ages. Here we have San Francisco 1900. You see a small footprint, 1940 expanding, and then 1990 considerable footprint around the Bay Area. Same thing with New York, 1930. Here we see some small areas with populations. 1960, much larger, and then 1990, quite an impressive footprint over that area. So again, so we're going to be starting off with is this report by the Pew Ocean Commission. Very recent data, and it's going to be looking again here at the urban design and the effect of these ever-increasing footprints on the aquatic ecosystems, thereby being the coastal regions of the United States. After that, we're going to be talking a little bit about the U.S. Census. That's going to be coming up here next year. Every decade that's taken, and the implications that that's going to have for coastal zones, coastal managers, budgets, etc. Next, again, GIS. We've got this, luckily, this map on demographics of the United States from the 1990s, and you're actually going to be able to log on to that website and look at that particular map and get an idea of what next year's census data will say. So here we have the map. So what I've asked you to do is actually go in, log in, sign on to the site. Actually, you don't need to sign on, but simply link to the site, and then you can actually zoom in to the coastal counties. This is very impressive software. You can see the strengths of GIS with this. So if we zero in on Miami, see Miami Beach, the Hialeah, Kendall, and we can take this even in a little bit further. So that's what I'm going to have you do. And you can see here household income is on this particular one, but then you can look at the population changes also there for the Miami area. So you can see what's gone up, what's gone down, what's held steady. And if we go back out, just think of the implications in this particular example for the Florida Everglades project. They're competing with this ever-increasing burgeoning population right there around the Miami and surrounding burbs, moving right out into the Everglades National Park. Now, if we zoom back out, take this all the way around, Louisiana, Texas, you see that green, the dark green is where they've experienced the largest growth. Go across Mexico and move right onto the Pacific coast there. California, moving on up. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do here on your own, and of course, you know, go in further to get a real bird's eye view of what's going on in some of these areas. This is very insightful. Again, a great tool for your planning as coastal policymakers or managers. Then you're going to return to this series, the Poison Waters, and watch a number of segments that deal with the Puget Sound area, and then also DC. A little bit about EPA's involvement in this through their Superfund program. Then we're going to look at this report that was put together by the Ocean Conservancy. Every year, you're probably well aware that they have what's called the Coastal Cleanup. And here we have their 2009 report. Very impressive. Over 100 countries are now participating. Scuba divers go down and collect debris off the bottom. They've got boaters, obviously beach walkers. And what's really impressive is how much information they have been able to put together on the specifics on what they're finding on coastlines around the world. Going down here to the United States, but they've got it on a country-by-country basis. So let's just look here quickly. Again, you're going to be going over this report yourselves. So let's look at Alabama, for instance. Number of paper and plastic bags that they collected. Almost 6,000 plastic bags. Alaska, on the other hand, only 7. Going down here to plastic bottles. Alabama, 9,300. Alaska, nothing. We go over a little bit further. California, let's look at plastic bags. 52,500. And then plastic bottles, almost, well, a little over 24,000. If we go down to the next set of states, let's go down. Now we're seeing Florida here. I believe this is where the plastic bags were. So Florida had about 42,000, and the plastic bottles 46,000. So you can see the power in this annual beach cleanup from the simple fact that they're actually documenting exactly what's being washed up. I mean, here we have shotgun shells, straws, toys, etc. So again, very relevant, very insightful, giving us an idea of what exactly the pollution is washing up on those beaches. We're going to be looking at this example here of a grassroots organization that's made a big difference in this particular area, California beach known as Seal Beach. Then we're going to be watching this short video by Jean-Michel Cousteau, Jacques Cousteau's son, and this particular episode when he went out to some isolated islands in the Pacific, and you'll be astounded at what he discovered on those beaches. This gentleman here, Captain Moore, continues with that thought of garbage. He's going to be looking at the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and again, this presentation by him really gives some unique insight as to how we've gotten here. This report tackling marine debris, which Congress requested, 2008 report, again gives insight as to ideas for tackling it, as well as you know, the reality on what exactly it is that we are facing. It is daunting, this pollution problem along our coastal areas and marine environments. So that's what we're going to be looking at this week, how the ever-growing population of the United States and the world, for that matter, is putting increased pressure on our coastal areas through the production of pollution, the as of yet inadequate way of dealing with that pollution.